Hello peoples of the interwebs, it's the Lunatic back again, and today we're going to take a look at how to download and play the Matanui Online Game 2. My previous video was about the Matanui Online Game 1, nice and simple, and unfortunately that's where the simplicity ends with the trilogy of Nog games. So, with this one right here, again, we're going to start out on BioMediaProject.com. I forgot to mention it in the last episode, but it is a beautiful website with all sorts of great Bionicle history, and all of the serials and the pictures, music, story, everything basically, right? You look up here, videos, news, fan stuff, so much stuff on here. It's great. It's a wonderful directory of just Bionicle content. But of course, right now what we're focusing on is games. There are some retail games available, but we're focused, on the web games. It'll of course again have this warning here about flash content. Everything is safe and no problem. So we just hit proceed to web games and hope it loads. There we go. I don't know, my mouse is doing some weird stuff today. So web games, streaming, I skip past this because I don't like streaming the games. I would much rather have it downloaded, and I honestly don't quite know how the streaming of it works. So we scroll all the way over to the right, and we find the the Matanui Online Game 2. I could never get the built-in save feature to work, so I went with the local server save. So all that you do is you'll click on it. It'll want to download a zip file. I made a folder on my desktop for Bionicle games. You can enter there, and when you do, it'll give you a zip file to unzip. Of course, I've already got that, so we're going to just move this out of the way and move this one in. Whoops, that's not the right folder. Here's the right folder. Okay. So you'll want to have it easily accessible. You'll hop in. That's the wrong one. You'll hop in, and you'll have a few different files here. You can see I've already set this up in a specific way. There's a shortcut in here that wouldn't normally be in there. And there's a few other things, right? Installer is... Okay, we're going to skip over that for a second here. And we're going to go straight to the README text. Now, it gives you a lot of information about the game in here. Version and things like that, method of play. And then it gives you the how to install the game. Which, so far as I can tell, doesn't work. I tried for a very long time initially when I first started the series to get it to work, and I just tried a bunch today as well in the hopes that I could get the save version to work so I could give you a nice, simple, well, relatively simple way of playing it. Unfortunately, no matter how I installed XAMPP, ran Apache, whatever, etc., did the installer thing, nothing worked. So, there is a, let's see here, problems to watch out for, how to restart the game, how to open standalone, it's not listed here. Well, there's a manual way of doing it, which we're going to go talk about now. We'll close that, and there's a manual save editing.txt. Now, basically, this right here is the important information. This is the save of the game itself. Now it has information down here about what everything does. So you've got events, you've got the previous scene, the location, items, which are charms, crystals, other, and then a bunch of things that you can collect a lot of. Everything up here is, of course, only one item. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to launch into the game from the VBS, right, the .vbs file. We want launcher no save. Okay, so you'll launch in, and it'll go through the opening screen. If you have it full screen, you're going to see some weird glitches off to the side here, because it was never intended to be played in this resolution. I find it funny, personally. And I've just realized it might be really loud, so I'm going to not quite kill the audio of the game, but I'm going to turn it way the heck down for now. It's something I will regret later when I'm trying to do other stuff. So, you'll notice that when we're in here, we can go around, we can walk around, and there's a bit of an issue, okay? Doesn't matter what we do, it's not going to save stuff. Obviously, we're in the no-save version, so what we want is you go into Holly, and there is a file called get_state. Let me see if I can find it here. It's a little bit annoying. Here we go. Now, what I have done is I have taken this file, and I created a shortcut. To do that, you right-click on it, then you click Create Shortcut. That'll copy it into here, and then you can drag that to wherever you want. I'm just going to delete that. We're going to head back to here where I have the shortcut just under my Monog to LSS folder. When you open this, it's going to just say no state 1. Now, that's not good. We don't want it to be saying no state 1. I'm going to split it off over to the side here, and we're going to grab this guy open again and go like this. What you want, oops, daisy, that was interesting. What you want is the variables to be in here. So you take, here, I'm just going to select it from the bottom. That'll be a little easier with my current setup. You take all this, you go copy, and paste. There we go. Now, so your opening scene is Holly's hut, previous scene is none, and you can see different events. You've got Holly's roof, water wheel, counterweight, east bridge, character Maku, Gakuro proclamation, Ayatoro, I think it's Ayatoro task, Dosny task, championship, Takoro destroyed. Those are your different states of the game. Once you've completed different tasks, what you'll need to do is you'll have to come in here and edit these. 0 means it has not happened. 1 means it has happened. Okay? Now that explanation is given down here as well. So events, 0 if not yet occurred, 1 if it has. So if Holly's roof is something that you have completed, you'll go here, you'll select that, you'll change it to a 1. Now anytime you make any changes in here, you have to save it. You can tell it's not been saved because there's a little asterisk up by the name. Once you are ready to save it, you just hit Save or Control S. You can do that in File, under Save, or Control S, which is my preferred thing. We'll close out of this. And I'm going to just move this off to the side, actually, for now. Because, where did the... Here we go. It'll appear like this down in your taskbar. Just so you know if you're trying to find it at any point in time. But we've got 10 Harakaki plants, right? And we are currently here. Where are we exactly? Well, the best way to find that out actually is to go to your Holly folder. Because in here, it has the names of different locations. You've got different cutscenes and everything like that, but what we're looking for here is Gakuro, primarily. You can see different areas in Gakuro. Now, I don't know exactly where we are, but Gakuro Main Gate, North Bridge. We're definitely in the east of Gakuro. East Garden entrance. I think we're at the East Garden entrance. So what you would do is, let's see here. Scene, instead of Holly's hut, we want it to be East Garden entrance. Or maybe it's, no, it's East Garden Lily Pad, I bet you. L-I-L-Y-P-A-D. Now, capitalization is very important. You have to have that right. It has to be the same. East Garden Lily Pad. Previous scene does not matter. We have not fixed Holly's roof. We have not done the water wheel. We've done none of those. If we look down here at items, we don't have any of the charms. We don't have any of the crystals of doom. We don't have the digger or any of the other items. So here we get to collectible items, right? Large shell. Oh, that's only one of them. Nixie's key, pickaxe, bamboo poles. Here we go. Here we get to items that can be more than 1. Everything above this has to be 0 or 1. Otherwise, it can potentially cause problems. I can't scroll any further. That's interesting. Oh, here. If we bring this up a bit. There we go. Let's see here. Hikari plants. Yeah. Harakaki? I have no idea. So we got 10 of them, right? So we want to change this 0 to a 10. Now, you can see going down here, you've got all that sort of stuff going on to here, right? That's all items that you can change the number of. Down here we have the Coley information. Sorry, a little bit confused. If we go back and grab the... hang on, I gotta go back to here and grab the manual save editing. One of them is the team that you last played. So you would just stick in, you know, Anokoro was who you last played, or Kokoro. That would go here. where it says none. You would delete the brackets. Come on, mouse. There we go. You would delete the brackets and put in whichever person it was that you played last, or whichever team, rather. And then here, you can tell it if it was a victory or a loss. 0 is victory, of course. 1 is a loss. Then we have who you have beaten. Okay, so if you've played on Ukoro and you lost, you leave it at 0. If you've played them and you win, you change it to a 1. Lastly, of course, we have the Koli stats. So you have the 6 different stats: accuracy, speed, stamina, strength, strategy, willpower, and widgets, I guess, is not a stat, but that's down there too. So you can put these up 0 through 999. I had initially thought that these could only go up to 10. You could change the stats up higher than that, but it wouldn't make any difference. That's what I had initially thought. Apparently you can change it as high as you want. So basically what you would have to do is you have to either count the number of times you've done training with things, or go to New Peru every time before you quit and find out what your stats are. You can, of course, cheat using all these methods right here. You know, you can enter in, oh, I've got 700 bamboo wood, or I've got 999 accuracy, mwahaha. That's a doable thing if you want to do it. You certainly, whatever, you know. It's up to you how you play. Widgets, you change that as well, depending on how many widgets you have. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to save it. We're going to, let's see here, save this, though, so that asterisk goes away. I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to close this. And when we close the game, and then we go to Launcher No Save VBS, make it big again. And it always puts you right here because it doesn't exactly know any better. We've got the 10 Harakiki, and we're in the same place. Okay, so then if we were to move around and go and do whatever else, there are then other things that we would have to change and do. So once we complete this, we'll have to tell it that we have completed that. Again, it's more than just a little bit annoying, and I really wish that the actual save feature worked. But it's a good workaround. This is how I did it the whole time that I was playing it. And my recommendation is that instead of going in and editing your get state every time, make yourself another document. I just did it in Microsoft Word. It's not going to open up on the right screen. Here we go. Whoopsie-daisy. Can we make this big? Yes, we can. So I just took this over here, and that made it so much easier for me to track everything, right? This is a little bit easier to see and read. It's a little bit easier to select and change things. Let's not do that. And so you can actually see here the stats that I had at the end of my play. Looks like I did not update some things in this. Huh! Well, it looks like I didn't keep up with this super well. I don't know what happened, but I must have just gotten frustrated and done it in the regular thing. But this is a good option. That way, if you mess something up in here, you can go back and you can see what the previous thing was and be like, oh, you know, I actually changed item bladders instead of bamboo. You know, I had 655 bamboo, I spent a bunch, and I put it, you know, I got it down to 600. Oh, and I just accidentally put 600 in water bladders or whatever, right? If you've saved it, then you're done, right? You don't know what it was. You can, of course, usually undo, but I found this as a nice, easy way to do it. Worked a little bit better for me. And that's really it, I guess. It's kind of complicated. If you have any questions or run into any issues with it, please let me know, and I will do my best to help you out. And I do hope that this tutorial has been helpful for you, because it was a pain for me to figure it out, and I would like to make it just a little bit less so for everybody else. So, with that, I will bid thee ta-ra, peoples of the interwebs, until I see you next time.